Yo, what's up? Ricky Sanders here. If you live for fast cars, greasy hands, and solving problems under the hood, welcome to your new favourite spot. I'm all about real fixes, no BS, and showing you how to keep your ride running like a champ. So go ahead, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's make some noise in the garage. Enough talk, let's get ready.
Quick start cans intended at ambient temperatures below freezing. Drivers often have trouble starting their engine. When starting cold, the following negative aspects are observed: increased loads received by the starter and battery, accelerated wear of internal working elements of the engine. Prolonged engine warm-up leads to increased consumption of gasoline or diesel fuel and lubricants. Increased humidity and sharp temperature changes are also a hindrance to the inclusion of motors. Humid climate causes water due to settle on the trembler and its contacts. The battery electrodes are also subject to the harmful effects of moisture. The voltage generated is not enough to produce a spark. The Aerosol ether product is also designed to help in such situations. The aerosol contains easily flammable ether substances, butane, propane, stabilizers. When they are combined with fuel masses, their flammability is improved and further combustion is stabilized. Lubricating additives included in the composition of the substance significantly reduce the friction of the working surfaces of engine parts and assemblies during the start of the power unit. How to use aerosol ether? The rules for using these remedies are quite simple. Shake the can of ether well. Within 2 seconds, the aerosol is injected into the intake manifold pipe so that some of the contents of the can gets inside the engine with the air. After the injection is properly carried out, the engine starts without delay. If the start fails, the action is repeated. Experienced car owners do not advise to inject the aerosol more than twice. If the motor does not react, it is necessary to check the operation of the following systems: ignition, electrical equipment, candles. If all systems and units of the power unit are in satisfactory condition, quick start aerosol acts immediately. If the engine does not want to start, it is necessary to make a thorough diagnosis of each element of the engine. Safety of using aerosols containing ether. The main condition of safety when using this means is not to overdo it with the number of injections. Western motorists do not resort to the use of aerosols that facilitate the start of the engine, because these means have negative qualities that cause the following defects of the power unit: the presence of rapidly flammable substances in the composition of the means leads to frequent detonations, deformation of piston rings, burnout of valves and piston walls, chipping of liners, engine overheating, damage to working assemblies and parts. The team of the famous corporation Liqui-Moly in a constant search for different chemical formulas that help get rid of these negative phenomena. After conducting numerous tests, the developers have come to the conclusion: do not use this product often to avoid rapid failure of the automobile engine. The design features of diesel engines also do not allow frequent use of these means to avoid repeated cases of detonation. Poured aerosol quick start at high temperatures formed due to strong compression of air and when mixed with diesel fuel causes advanced detonation, which dramatically reduces the overall life of the power unit. Stimulating agents show the best efficiency when used in machines after a long idle time. In the domestic trade network there are aerosol means quick start, containing ether for starting the engine, from well-known manufacturers: Liqui-Moly, Start Fix, Manual Motor Starter. When buying, experts advise to choose products of American or German manufacturers, because the enterprises of these countries take into account all the norms and standards in the production of the required product. Description of possible consequences of hard start of the engine on ether. Experienced motorists do not recommend frequent use of ether means that help to start the engine urgently, because of the danger of the following negative consequences: washing of the oil film from the walls of the cylinders under the influence of ether, which leads to an increase in the friction force of the working surfaces. Thermal explosion inside the engine caused by the flywheel striking back against the starter. Air filter failure. The air filter housing ruptures when exposed to an overabundance of ether. An overdose of ether causes the timing belt to pop off. Damage to the motor connecting rods. Crankshaft failure. The fuel system fails completely. Breakdown of the low-pressure pump. Deformation of the pistons. Unpredictability in the operation of the power unit. This effect is popularly known as the engine goes haywire. Tip: if it is necessary to use these aids, the aerosol is carefully injected in small quantities into the inlet of the intake manifold instead of the air filter. This operation should be carried out with an assistant turning on the starter. To accelerate the start of the diesel engine with the help of ether, it is necessary to isolate the operation of glow plugs in order to avoid explosion at the stage of antiphase and the occurrence of open fire in the area of the intake manifold. It is not recommended to use these means every day, even at high thrusts. To make the engine start without stimulants, it is better to find the cause of the appeared failures and eliminate it. Harmful properties of ether, causing breakdowns in the motor aerosols for accelerated start, have in their composition an easily flammable substance, ether. Ether vapor in certain ratios with oxygen molecules is an explosive mixture. In the absence of certain experience, it is not recommended to start the power unit using quick-start aerosols containing ether. Manufacturers of these means use additives in the form of propane, which contribute to softening the start. There are also solutions that contain lubricants for a more humane effect on the engine elements. When using cans, the composition is dosed by eye, the carburetor or injectors are not turned off, fuel continues to flow into the cylinders. Volatile ether in a mixture with fuel bursts, from the explosion, increase in the amount of gases and fuel, the number of engine revolutions increases sharply. Various strong noise effects in the form of clanking and thumping are observed. To the use of aerosols containing ether, resort to car owners of cars with worn-out power units with a long resource. In such engines, all mechanisms, units, and systems are in a working condition. It makes no sense to replace individual elements. An overhaul is an expensive pleasure. Therefore, drivers have nothing to do but use quick start to start the engine. Ether for engine starting, 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 ether for engine starting. In conclusion, while aerosol ether can be an effective solution for starting a car engine in low ambient temperatures, its use should be approached with caution. Understanding the potential risks, such as engine damage and safety hazards, is crucial. It is essential to weigh the benefits against these risks and consider alternative methods for cold starts. Ultimately, using specialized products designed for this purpose can provide a safer and more reliable option. Always prioritize the long-term health of your vehicle and consult your owner's manual or a professional if you're unsure about the best approach for your specific situation.